Fire crews in Washington County were busy last year responding to a record number of wildland fires. This is video from a fire at Diamond Valley, which was one of 3 major fires where people had to be evacuated last August.
Just in Washington County alone, we had 171 wildfires, most of which were in the unincorporated areas. That doesn't include a lot of the really small brush fires that we have in the cities.
The Washington County Fire Warden said about 85% of those fires were human-caused, which didn't have to happen.
We get a lot of roadside fires from faulty equipment, bad tires, bad brakes, exhaust systems. A couple of the larger fires that we had last year were from those types of things.
Red flag warnings have already been issued this year, and it's only April.
It's been an extremely dry year this year, and with the previous years being dry also, it's just kind of compounding and getting worse and worse.
To see red flag warnings this early in the year is abnormal. It's probably the earliest that in the 11 years I've been here that we've had red flag warnings, which is a combination of dry fuels, dry air, and high winds.
With 4 fires burning statewide right now, the Washington County Emergency Services is already busy putting out warnings, asking for recreationists to follow the rules.
So pay attention to those. When they say, you know what, no primitive camping here, that means no primitive camping. You got to stay within the campgrounds. When it says no campfires, that means no campfires. When it says it's full, it's full. And you know what, just pay attention to those.
The problem is that so much of our county has burned, and people don't want to go and camp or recreate in a burned area. So then they go to the unburned area, which then they light their fires in, and then that area burns.
As a county, we cited more people for illegal campfires last year than we basically have in the history of the county. It's become that big of a problem. So there will be areas like Kolob Reservoir where we aren't going to allow campfires at all.
The county is also working on a new system that will allow texting to find out fire information. In the meantime, residents and visitors need to be extra cautious when recreating outdoors and be aware of the risks.
It just means that you got to be vigilant. You got to be aware of what's around you, what's going on, what are my escape routes, that you're being careful with. If you can have a campfire. Most of the time you can't out there anymore as we get into these drier seasons. So you just got to be aware of that.
The natural moisture in plants or trees is just not there. It's hard for them to fight off a fire when they don't have that natural moisture. And so consequently, we're just in a real pickle here.
One of the worst ones that we had was caused by fireworks here in the Tortoise Reserve and burnt somewhere around 17,000 acres, which damaged a lot of the ecosystem in the Tortoise Reserve that will take a long time to repair.
Fire officials encourage homeowners living in these rural communities to create a defensible space around their property so that if fire does break out, it will be easier to protect.
Look at that and see that defendable space. That influences our decisions and really makes it more efficient to be able to get people out safely or be able to let them stay there and shelter in place.
So I would hope that this whole year going forward, they would respect our environment and simply say, we can go have fun without having to also have a fire.
In Washington County, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.